This is going to be a monster of a series. Let's put together a voice assistant that doesn't need to connect to the internet and doesn't use any privacy invading software. Not just some app on your phone as well. We'll be using real hardware. I'll be learning how to use CAD software to actually make some 3D printed enclosures for it. It's going to run on Raspberry Pis, and we'll have a whole network of them with only one needing to be a main powerful node and then the rest connecting back to it. So all but one of them can be really small and power efficient. It might just be doable, and I've had this idea for a little while, but let's see if we can actually make it work. But how do you actually expect to make it? Well, I obviously don't, not by myself. There's actually a small but active community of people who've been working on open source software to do this kind of thing for a little while, and I just want to join it and make videos about it so that hopefully more people can learn about this software and maybe take some of the hardware designs that I make, if they're any good. I'll be trying to make 3D printed enclosures for things and kind of give guides for what hardware I chose and why I chose it and what it does and things like that. Because I can't make the software. I'm not a competent software dev, which is why the open source software we'll mainly be using is Rhasspy and Homeassistant. But there'll be more than that in a GitHub link below whenever I add any other parts to that if I do, because I would like to contribute documentation as well, since a lot of how I got to where I am with understanding the software today is just trial and error. Anyway, I just want to show this off, basically, because I think it's a really cool project. By the end, I'll have some actual hardware that I can use, and I'll have shown just another really cool use of open source software. But what have we got so far? Well, a Raspberry Pi 4 that's been loaned to me, a USB stick, a PlayStation Eye camera for the microphone because, well, I heard the devs used one to test it for that, and I had a PlayStation Eye camera, so I thought I'd use that too, and then some headphones plugged into the headphone jack. And on the USB stick, we've got 64-bit Raspbian, Homeassistant, and Rhasspy, and many, many hours worth of making config files. And I can already tell you, only one of those hardware things is going to stay till the end of this project, the Pi 4, but because the USB stick is massive, and obviously I'm not going to use a PlayStation Eye camera or headphones as a speaker, but these work for testing. So right now the way things work is I say the word blueberry, and then it starts recording what I say, and when I'm done, all locally on device, it figures out the words I said, and then the meaning behind those words. From there it talks to Homeassistant, which will either give it info about something I've asked. So if I ask the time, there is a Homeassistant sensor which has the time, Homeassistant will return it, or Homeassistant will carry out what I've asked it to do, like turning off the lights. And that's all I've got set up so far. And the ability to do all of that is all thanks to the Raspberry Pi 4. It's way more powerful than the previous ones, and it means I can actually run Docker, and I can have the Homeassistant server on the Pi and Rhasspy on the Pi, and it can actually generate the pretty decent sounding text-to-speech faster than real time, so you don't have to wait ages for a response, and it's really impressive.
Blueberry, what time is it?
Right now it is 21:31.
It's actually, in the end, got comparable latency to a Google Home smart speaker, despite the fact that that's talking to the internet, which either sounds like a bad thing because Google manages to be a similar speed while going out to the internet, whereas we're doing everything locally, but also it means it's competitive with the products already out there. So if I actually switch from Google smart speakers to this, I'm not going to be losing out on speed.
Hey, what time is it?
9:28 p.m.
But if speed isn't a problem, what's actually wrong with sending your voice over the internet for Google to figure things out for you? Well, first is privacy. You might just not want that all going to Google or Amazon. But second is reliability. Terms of service change, companies go bankrupt, and servers and internet connections don't have 100% uptime. But that shouldn't affect the hardware you bought. It's yours. I don't want to rely on someone else to make it keep working. And with this, we don't have to. And again, I'm not sure whether I mentioned it before because I've had to do lots of takes so that I don't have to look at my script, but to make my intentions very clear, I'm not intending to sell this. This isn't a product. Everything I contribute to this will be on GitHub, which should include CAD models and reasons why I picked hardware and kind of just explanations for everything that I've done. And also, just, it's more to me an excuse to show off how cool open source software is and actually have hardware to go along with it that hopefully you can 3D print at like a local library, or if you have a 3D printer yourself, then, well, that's probably better. So hopefully this is an interesting series. As I said before with the weird tight shot on my face, this is going to be a massive series. Maybe not in terms of number of episodes, because I don't like when people do lots of episodes, but hopefully in terms of information density. Everything should be really interesting, I hope. But again, I'm not done yet. I'm not even a tiny fraction into actually getting this done. But if you feel like helping me, if you think you know something I don't and you want to contribute, get in contact with me, because I would love to learn. I do intend on using this, so I would like it to be as best as possible, and you'll be helping a bunch of people that aren't me too. Also, something I don't usually do, this is a fair excuse for me to say, if you like the idea of this and other ones of my videos, because regular videos are going to continue regularly, maybe this is the time you subscribe and click the bell so you know when episodes come out. I don't know, I feel weird asking, but hopefully you enjoy, hopefully you're excited, and bye. If there's anything I forgot to say now, this is when I can throw it in, because it's the end, so it doesn't matter if I read off a script. Learning CAD software is going to be interesting. I don't intend to sell it. I think we got everything. Hopefully the network of things works well, because I already own a Raspberry Pi 2B, so hopefully I can use that as a little network device, even if I don't get the power efficiency from it for testing. Bye, and thanks for watching to the extra end of the video.